has got to die. Good morning, good evening, whatever time you may be watching. Good morning, good evening, whatever time you may be watching. Hey, hello, and welcome to my latest video. I'm so glad you decided to join me on this journey that I'm on as a wife, as a mother, and a general busybody. There's definitely been some busying happening in the last few weeks, so thank you so much for sticking around. All 640 plus of you. It's crazy to think 600 people have and told me, yeah, we think you're all right. I really love that, and thank you so much. I am so grateful. Thank you. Anywho, so on to the video for today. So in my last video I talked about mothering habits that I wanted to let go of, and so this time I turned my attention to matters of the heart. I talk about my habits that I want to get rid of in 2018, and that actually some of them I've already ditched before 2017, but I kind of want to talk over them again because I think there are things that you might benefit from too. So on to the first habit to ditch, to die, to the death. Nagging. Nagging has got to die, as in the like literally. I believe that husbands worldwide hate nagging. Like, I don't like nagging. I know every woman doesn't like doing it, therefore the receiver of it equally does not like it. And this is how I think nagging sounds now that I've had a deeper revelation of it. I think nagging is that sound. If it's been a hot day and there's a mosquito and you can't start buzzing, I think nagging is literally that annoying sound when you're having this lovely sweet sleep. It's this lovely sweet sleep and you just said, and you're just like trying to swat it. Like, I literally think that's how men feel when women are constantly nagging at them for something. Okay, my husband's there. I wish I could film his face. He literally is just going. So I hope in 2017 that nagging will die a quick, painful death. Like, it should just be out and done with, because nagging doesn't get you anywhere. If anything, it just aggravates the situation and the person who's hearing it just switches off. I know when I was at home, if my mum kept nagging me about, I don't know, tidying up my room or cooking or listening or whatever, I literally just like switch off and I start daydreaming about apple pie in the oven or something else. I'm not gonna listen to you if you keep nagging, and nagging needs to die. It needs to die, it needs to go. So cut it, wifeys, cut it, everyone, cut it. Okay, number 2. I spoke about in my last video as a mother that I want to stop shouting. As a wife, I should think I've done a pretty good job in not raising my voice when I get angry. I've gotten better. I was very bad, I won't lie. I am that kind of person. I will keep quiet for a while, but eventually it will get too much and I just think so I think that we need to learn to speak with respect, and I think I have decided that if I feel that things are getting to that level where I'm going to be disrespectful to you or myself, I'm going to remove myself from the situation so that I can rein myself in physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all the illies. I need to take a moment away from that situation, and I think that it's important to do so. I do not, FYI, I do not sign up to this philosophy of, you know, mustn't let the sun go down in your anger. I get the idea that it's important not to go to bed angry. I do not, however, buy that an issue has to be sorted that evening, and that's something that my husband and I have I think in the last 18 months we have really tried to work on. So if we're arguing and we're noticing it's getting late and we're both getting tired, we will literally just be like, okay, that's it, and we will set a date and a time where we'll come back to that argument. But the key is, during that time, you're not going to give yourself silent treatment. You're going to treat each other with nastiness, because you need to separate the issue from the person. Because whatever they're doing, if you ultimately believe that that person loves you, then whatever they do is a action, is a thing, is a separate entity from their love from you. Does that make any sense? Like, I mean, there are big issues. I'm not talking about the big issues to do with infidelity and domestic violence and those big issues. I'm talking about smaller things that, you know, maybe issues to do with in-laws, or how you spend money, or how you treat each other, talk to each other. Those are issues. It doesn't necessarily mean that they do not love you anymore. So you still need to treat them with kindness, love, respect, that you would if you weren't arguing, if you weren't having an attitude. I don't see the point in arguing when, at the end of the day, if you're still talking about the issue and you're both tired, what tends to happen? Let me tell you. You started arguing about apples, let's say, for example. You start arguing about apples, right? So you're arguing, going back and forth. I see apples, no, Granny's mouth, no, Pink Lady. Pink Lady are the best apples, by the way. And then in amongst this argument about apples, right? In amongst this argument, you have also introduced other issues, or exchanged other insults, or said something that you shouldn't have. And so now the issue about apples now becomes bananas, pears and oranges, right? And it's now 11 o'clock at night, and you've forgotten that you actually spoke about apples. You're now arguing about pears, bananas, pineapples. The apples is still there. And so the point is, you're both tired now. You cannot see the wood for the trees. The best thing for you to do is let it go, pause and agree, okay, say yourselves a 12-hour, 24-hour limit. Say, you know what, tomorrow evening, let's have another go. And the difference is, you can both go away, think about it, pray on it, talk to other people if it's that serious, if you need to, and then come back together and discuss it. And usually it's much easier that time, because both of you have let go of your emotions and your thinking. You've had some time to think. I don't think when the saying, or it's a biblical saying, when it says the sun shouldn't go down on your anger, I think it's talking about not allowing your anger to be perpetuated. I think it means that your anger shouldn't be forever. It needs to have an ending time, just like the sun rises and sets. I don't necessarily think it means that in that moment, in that second, in that hour, in that evening, in that day, the argument must be resolved, because some things are lifelong. You are going to have that issue for a longer period of time. You're not going to resolve it. There might be parenting approaches that you have totally opposite parenting approaches. Is that going to get sorted in one night? Heck no. There is no way that's going to be sorted in one night. So what's the point? Why not schedule more times, more opportunities for you to discuss those issues, so that it doesn't become this tense, horrible atmosphere to live on? And I'm totally preaching, but hey, yeah, that thing, I've totally preached. I apologize. 3, saying it's well. That's got to end. It's not well. If it's not well, just say it's not well. Like, and when I mean it is well, that's a very Christianese thing. Okay, variations of it is well is, it's okay, don't worry, it's cool, I got it sorted, doesn't matter, it's all right. All those are all lies, and you're just fooling yourself. And then few days or weeks or months down the road, whatever was well isn't well. It comes to the surface, big explosions, yada yada da, nuclear war. Everyone sat at the table trying to discuss how to make, war and peace. Like, be honest. 4, silent treatment needs to go. Now, I used this, I will not lie, in matters of the heart. I did, and it was a very bad sin. And I thought I could just freeze him out. I just thought I could just freeze you out. Like, if I just give you enough and just kind of kiss my teeth and all of that, I thought I could just freeze him out. And that does not work, especially if you have a husband who's stubborn, or you have a wife who's stubborn or fixed and has got a fixed mindset. That is not going to work. What it will do, it will drive a wedge between the two of you. You'll get more upset with each other, because you'll find it very disrespectful, very dishonoring. So silent treatment is horrible, needs to end. Whoever told you that the best way to get something out of someone is not to talk to them, lied to you, lied to us all. We should go and shut them up somewhere, because that's wrong. And the last, And the last thing, unforgiveness. Now, unforgiveness is quite serious because I think unforgiveness is a very serious thing, because I think that if you don't learn to forgive, you will just continue to keep a record of wrongs, and it will keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and relationships, friendships, marriages are destroyed on the basis of unforgiveness. One person or both parties being unable to resolve and let go of issues. Because the truth is, I mean, I watched a preaching that totally transformed my thinking about forgiveness, and if I find it, I'll link it up below. And it talks about the power of actually understanding that when someone offends you, they owe you something. So if, for example, in an extreme case, your husband cheated on you, so he owed you faithfulness, he owed you loyalty, he owed you fidelity, well, I think that's the right word. Anyway, he owed you all those things. The truth is, he will never be able to pay that back, because he cannot go back in time to pay it back. And even if he could, the hurt has already been done, so that's not going to change. So in order for me to live and to love myself, I need to pardon you. And I've realized that actually I'm fallible, I have issues too, and you can't pay me back. As a Christian, we believe that Christ paid for your sin, the sin that you did to me, and the sin that I did separately, but the sin that you did to me that has caused you, like for example the infidelity, he's already paid for that. So technically speaking, how can I keep asking you to pay for something that's already been paid for? It doesn't make sense. So I need to embrace the love that Christ has given me by dying on the cross, and use that to help me to release you from whatever it is. And that doesn't mean, forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. Forgiveness does not mean that we are best of friends and pally, no, because that can take time to build back up. The truth is, forgiveness means I'm setting you free. I'm not going to keep you chained to my heart, chained to my thoughts, chained to because it's not going to help me to live. And I believe that a lot of people are dying from tumors and cancers and headaches and suffering from all sorts of ailments because of unforgiveness. And I definitely have dealt with issues that I've been reluctant, find absolutely excruciating to let people let it go. And even as I'm talking to you, I'm suddenly realizing there are certain things that happened way back in my past that I actually forgiven those people for those things? And no, I haven't. So I'm gonna have to, if you watch the preaching, it talks about the forgiveness curve. I'm gonna have to go through that curve in order to feel free. And my catchphrase for this year is all about loving me. So I hope that you have really enjoyed this video, me talking to you about the the wifey habits that I want to let go of in 2017. Check me out, make sure you're subscribed so you can find out when I do my second video, where I'll be talking about the wifey habits that I want to cultivate, nurture, grow, prop up, give the bigs up in 2018. And until my next video, remember that loving your neighbor as yourself means that you need to love yourself first. Take care, make sure you love yourself. Bye.